And I'm going to talk a little bit about our sponsor for today's show, which is the city of Fremont. Believe it or not, city of Fremont, Nebraska. Very interesting community. I'm going to share with you briefly what I've learned about the community. Very positive changes, adaptations going on in Fremont. Some people in the Omaha area say, well, I would never go up there, etc. No reason to do that. By the way, Blair is up there as well, as we all know. And this is an economic development TV show. That's what this is. And we're proud to be able to put this content and programming out there so that all the people in Nebraska, economic developers, chamber people, mayors, municipal planners, all these people, I hope, are watching WowBiz Nebraska as often as they can. It's right on YouTube, right under KPAO TV, coming out of Omaha, Nebraska, of course. Now, I want to talk to you again about Fremont. You know, this is an interesting community because their current mayor is, I think, the youngest mayor in the state of Nebraska. The youngest mayor. And I had the opportunity to meet with him recently. His name is Joey Spellerberg. He took over, came from Alabama back to Omaha or back to Nebraska, and then took over his parents' or his family's business called Mustache Joe, and it's a tour bus or a tour business, a travel business. Very successful, by the way, and been around the Fremont area for a long time. In fact, I just talked to somebody the other day who took that particular business all the way to Iceland or Finland, I can't quite remember, and they were escorted there by Joey Spellerberg, the mayor of Fremont. Now, two things stand out. I just want to say this. Because he's a young guy, he wants to do positive change and so on. He's not all about holding on to the past. Although he wants to be respectful, of course, of what has preceded him. This is the tension that all mayors have. And of course, most of the time in Nebraska, we have part-time mayors. They're busy doing other things, and so it's tough for them to find the time to stay on top of zoning issues and city council meetings and committees and so on, and then also make some kind of a visionary statement trying to turn the community, turn the corner, help make sure that they're ready to absorb and even redesign the future of Nebraska. And Joey, is working to do that. Here are two things he's done, all right? Number one, they've developed and they put a lot of resources, a lot of time and energy into creating a strategic plan that involves, I think it's a 10-year vision for the city of Fremont. And Joey, and like I said, many people participated in this. It's a great exercise, it really is. The question I have when I see these plans, because I've seen a few of them around the state of Nebraska, is do you have the resources to implement the incredible positive changes that are woven into the plan? All right, that's a very interesting thing. A lot of the skill sets that people that are in administrative, civic roles and so on, they may not have the skills necessary to actually implement all of these plans. So that's just an interesting thing. We can put that aside. It's not a negative, but it's a constructive question. Now, the other thing, we all know that Nebraska is struggling with the ability to retain young people, young professionals. We got about 4,000 of them leaving every year. The pandemic was rough. They left in greater numbers. They didn't come back by and large. So it's a very tough game if you're a mayor of any community. Of course, there's about 27,000 people in the Fremont area. So you got to think about how are we going to get these people to stay here, get jobs here, work and live here, pay taxes here. It's not an easy thing to do. But Joey has tapped into the Nebraska Creative Arts, I'm not saying that correctly, organization, nonprofit. They're distributing funds across the state of Nebraska based upon, obviously, proposals and so on. And they're going to create a creative district there in Fremont, Nebraska. So make a note of that, because as this kind of comes together, it's going to be interesting and kind of exciting to see. And all of a sudden now they're going to have a district probably on Main Street or Bell, right in that area. And that's going to be beautiful and interesting, visually exciting. And hopefully that will be the vortex, something that will attract young professionals and encourage people to stay right there in Fremont, Nebraska. So they have a plan, they put a lot of energy and thought into it, and they're going to have, I believe, a creative district. Now my question to you is this enough? Well, we'll see. right? Is this enough to hold people, to kind of keep this next generation here in our state? That's the critical issue, and I'll talk to you about that down the road. But congratulations, Joey, and congratulations to the Chamber and all the folks that have worked hard to keep the community moving towards the cutting edge. I'm not saying they're there exactly, but they definitely are moving in the right direction, and it takes a lot of effort and time. So good for them and good for Fremont, Nebraska. Absolutely.